morning. This video is brought to you by Trapline Transport, serving BC to Quebec, Canada with regional and long-haul Super B flat deck freight. With Trapline's experienced team, you can expect fast, efficient, and honest service. Our team will transport your valuable products across Western Canada with the skill and experience you expect and can count on. At Trapline, we are committed to you, our customer, building loyalty and long-term partnerships. We want you to be satisfied with our work, which is why we provide open communication channels where we will update you through each process from arranging a shipment to delivery at your door. Trapline understands that providing exceptional customer service is critical to building strong, long-lasting relationships with our customers. Head over to traplinetransport.ca and get a free quote right now. Just head over to traplinetransport.ca and get a free quote right now. Good morning. We're at rest area just north of Castlegar, going down into Castlegar, and we're gonna load there. So as long as there's no lineup, this should work out pretty good. See if we can time this out between vehicles. Man, I woke up with my eyes swollen shut, huge allergy attack, a sore throat because I couldn't breathe through my nose. Allergies suck. I took some more allergy pills. Eyes feel like they've got gravel sprinkled in them. Well, maybe just sand. But it sucks. Also, I messed up. I messed up last week, Friday, and found out about it today. Pulled into a cart lock to fuel up and realized I don't have a fuel card. Somehow, it's the first time this has ever happened to me. Somehow, I lost the fuel card. I know I last fueled up in Merritt. But last memory is me putting the fuel card into my pocket. And I checked all my pockets, went through the laundry to make sure it hadn't gone in a laundry machine. I can't find it. Checked at any places it might have slipped out. I searched for a long time. It's like I really have to just search everything. And yeah, no fuel card. So, oops. Now, at least it's the first time I've ever done that. What a dumb mistake. Oh, dead skunk. Do not want to hit that. Don't really avoid a lot of roadkill, but I'm going to avoid a dead skunk for sure. Whew. That is a potent smell. Quite flavorful. Thankfully my nose is clogged up and I can't smell it as good as most people are. Whew. Wow, that is That is definitely a smell. So yeah, we're northbound on 3A, just north of Castlegar. We're gonna get loaded here, head back into Castlegar, and see if we can get ourselves a new fuel card. I'm at 3/8 of a tank of fuel right now, so I've got a couple hours of fuel on me still, but pick up the fuel card here. Only office I know where I can pick one up. I'm sure there's more offices, but most of our fuel card locks don't have offices. Pretty cool mural, all the horses painted on the side like that. Kind of like it. All right, coming up on the lumber mill. I know in a forest like this, everything just blends in. If you're coming to Castlegar Lumber the first time and see this Castlegar log sign, you better be slowing down because your exit's coming right away if you're going to be picking up lumber.
Arriving at Flick on the right.
We call it KLC, Castlegar Lumber Incorporated. Incorporated Castlegar Lumber. I don't know what the CO is for. Always come to a stop over here. Make sure there's no logging trucks or forklifts zooming around. Yeah, nobody waiting. Nice. That is nice. For sure, 100% come to a stop here. Alright, we're good.
Navigate on road.
Shipping and receiving office is not marked very clear, but it is the forklift driver. The forklift driver is the chipper. The office is on the left-hand side there. If there's a truck parked over there, what you do is come in over here and stop at this sign here. It says, "Attention flat deck trucks. Please wait here. Advance to the left when authorized." I've already been authorized because the forklift guy waved me in. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I did. Loop around as wide as you can. Today there's nothing drying out on the tracks there, so I can go super wide. Lined up waiting for me at the loading zone. And park in the square at a funky angle. Morning. I'm going to DJK or whatever, Grand Forks. loading up right now is for pallets. So these are all going to get turned into pallets. These look like they're 1x4s. And they're all the rough edges, the worst lumber there is. All the corners have edges to them. It's basically the edge of a tree. None of the 1x4s are pretty. And then of course, for those of you guys that are new to flat deck or want to learn flat deck, some idling is required. At least if your trailers have suspension gauges on them, learn where your max weight is, where your max legal weight is on that suspension gauge. Easy way to learn that is look where the gauge is, hit the scale, or write down how many pounds you have, and then you can get an average of where your legal weight is. Turn the truck off again, and then keep the PSI in the truck on the gauges between 100 and 125. Well, as long as you keep it above 70 PSI, it's probably fine, 70, 80 PSI. But as a rule, once it drops below 100, I idle. As they're loading, the suspension is losing air, it's venting out air. But you keep your pressure up above, I'd say 80 for sure, just so that when you jump out to go check all your gauges on the truck, front trailer and rear trailer, that those gauges are reading accurately. If they're low pressure, well then they're not going to read accurately. And of course, make sure you only set your truck brakes, not your trailer brakes. You leave your trailer brakes. That way, as you're loading, the airbags have nice and level, nice and even, no tension, no pressure. The gauges will not read accurate if you have both your truck and your trailer brakes applied. I think he's going in the center there. I think we're done. .60 psi, I can go to 67. 62, I can go to 73. It's going to be a light load. And 69, I can go to 77. We're good. I guess you guys feel the camera back. All right, short straps on the back, long straps on the front. Do I do 2 short ones on the front? Yeah, you know what, we'll do 2 short ones on the front just for the sake of extra safety. Never hurts to throw an extra strap above and beyond what's legally required. That's 8 feet long. So these short ones, I don't twist the strap because it's such a short distance, but anything longer, I put a half twist in the strap like that. For the simple reason is when the wind catches a long strap, it just vibrates like crazy, just vibration. With the twist, it does something with the aerodynamics. You don't get that vibration. And that vibration has 2 downsides to it. I don't really need 2 straps on that, but I'm going to. That vibration makes a heck of a lot of noise going down the highway, which is whatever. Noise isn't the worst thing in the world. But that vibration also, oh, I want short straps. That vibration also, as it vibrates up here, cuts the strap over time. Not so much on lumber, but on some loads you get that, especially like steel. Sharp, well, steel you should probably have a chain over it. And metal corners, depending on what kind of steel you have. Concrete blocks, they do a good job of cutting. Well, you know what? Short strap's probably long enough for this. And of course, if you want the shipper to be really happy, make sure you throw your strap over top of every label. Legally, you need a strap in the first 5 feet, another one in 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet. And that resets right over there. So if the second layer, if there's nothing in front of a second layer, that second layer is considered the front because it could shift forward. You need an extra strap on any bundle that could shift forward that's not being held in. It's not too picky how you strap. These are how you fold these up. You always want to make sure the extra strap is tucked in into the winch. That way you don't have these tails hanging off, dangling in the wind. I like doing my lumber tight enough that it always wrecks the top board. And if you're offended by that, I'm sorry. Not really. Not really sorry. I've had loads that damage very easily. And I'm like, I'm gonna damage that load. Do you want that load to get there? Or get there a little bit damaged, or get there, or not get there and be unloaded in the middle of a highway somewhere. Having said that, on the sensitive ones, I always put plastic corners on them. But this stuff, it's literally garbage wood going for pallets. Nice heavy load, but not stupid heavy, but heavy. Let's get out of here. Logging truck parked in front of me down there, but we're not going that far. Comes the forklift. He's waiting for me, okay. This corner can get sketchy. Where's my window? This corner can get really sketchy really fast if there's another truck coming in at the same time you're trying to leave. Sorry, frog in my throat. Whew. Feels hot outside. It's 23 degrees Celsius, so cooler than it has been. Sorry, pick up behind me. It's going to take me a little while to get up to speed. Electronic logbook went into driving automatically. Good. Always going to keep an eye on that. Sometimes it doesn't. Then you're sitting on duty while you've been driving for half an hour. Let's see if we can get ourselves a fuel card, cause oops. Oh, that sucks. Set cruise control. Hoping they're open already. Engine brakes on. Like, cruise control doesn't slow me downhill if I don't have engine brakes on. Like, I'm speeding. I don't want to speed. I mean, we all want to speed, but I really don't want the consequences of doing so. Okay. 80 feels slow. 80 feels slow. love this highway. Beautiful trees. I like the weeping willows here every now and then. Always been a fan of the weeping willows. Don't have a lot of them here in BC. Don't think they're natural here. Probably all imported. Weeping willows grow incredibly fast. Like in 10 years, you go from a little sapling to a huge tree. Thrums Market Bakery and Deli. So yeah, technically we're in the community of Thrums here. We loaded in Thrums, British Columbia. Oh, there's that skunk again. The town is pretty much a ghost town, but you still have residents living here, right? All the industries have kind of died out. I wonder what built the town of Thrums. Maybe all the dams? Probably, right? What would bring people to come here and live here? I bet you it was all the dam construction. There's a lot of dams down this section of Kootenay River. Take some of the little side roads, you get some pretty cool views of some of the dams. "90 kilometers an hour. Next dam that we're going to see here is going to be on the left hand side, and it's called Brilliant Dam. I think there was a small village community here called Brilliant as well. I think the bridge that we're going to cross over Kootenay River is called Brilliant Bridge. Brilliant power plant. Chip truck was parked there in the morning when we started this video. These guys curtains on. I bet you he sleeps during the day and drives at night. Usually chip trucks are cross drivers, we're cross shift, where drivers drive, or that truck drives day and night. But every now and then you see a chip truck that has a sleeper on it. I don't know if they just go longer distances. As a cross shift driver, your shift is usually a 12-hour shift. Jump in a truck in the yard, head out, get loaded somewhere, and go make that delivery, and then head back to the yard. And as you get close to the yard, you text or call the driver that will be jumping in the truck once you get into the yard, and you tell them your ETA. Just go, "Hey, be in the yard 1 hour from now." It's like, all right. And you get in the yard, and the other driver's waiting there. And he does a pre-trip on the truck and jumps in and starts going again. So, day shift, night shift. And the shift can slowly warp. At the beginning of the week, maybe you started your shift at 8 p.m., but by the end of the week, you're starting your shift at 4 a.m., depending on how long the other driver took. Sometimes, because you can drive 14 hours in a day, in theory, the shift should be 12 hours, but sometimes it's less than 12 hours, sometimes it's more than 12 hours, so the shift can slowly warp by the end of the week, and it gets reset on the weekend. All right, let's see if the scale's open. Past 9 o'clock now, so I suspect I'm going to be parked in the yard getting the fuel card long enough that all these cameras will have died, so we're going to end the video as I pull into the yard. I think that's what we'll do. I think that'll work out. I know it's not a lot of travel time on today's video, but hopefully the loading and the unique place I'm going to go with this load make up for the shorter travel time. Scale is open. Got to do the detour. I want to, at this next intersection, not this one. Now, the next intersection, I want to make a right-hand turn. But because the scale is open, it is illegal for me to make a right-hand turn. I could get a bypassing the scale ticket.
Over here, Kerry. I am. Go to 100 miles a minute. Sure. Trying to buzz us.
So instead of being on Highway 3 there going westbound, we're going to end up on Highway 3 going eastbound.
Pictures and send something off there if there's anything that they want to or need to do. Now, once in a while, I think they got to be calibrated a bit there, but anyway, whatever. But yeah, I was reading zero fuelage before I even put the last permit in, so I was kind of really a little bit nervous there, so I thought, fucking, yeah, better go check it out. So, but it was exactly right on the money with the book for the mine that I go to, the exact same for each main grade. So, but on the other hand, that tip should be available there for a guy that doesn't know, you know, there should be one there somewhere, I don't know, in the shed maybe, where the computer is or something there that's easy to get at, to look at. Okay, there was a black tube. Maybe it's not there, maybe it's in my shed. I probably didn't put it back up after we repainted that thing like 2 years ago, like a year ago. I know the tube is there. I picked it up, but I couldn't get the caps off. It's probably there for quite some time by the look of it. Just saying, as a helpful thing in the future, it'd be good if that was kind of hung on a wall or something. You know what I mean? In by the readout or something. I gotta look at it here and not knowing. Right. Okay. Yeah. That one.
Turn that off while we go over the scale. This guy's crawling over. It must mean he's right at max weight. He's getting a stop. A scale stopping him. Saying for him to keep going, so he must have been overweight on one axle grouping, but they've decided to let him go. 5,300, 15,270, 19 something, 15,2 something. Mine just stayed on next axle. So yeah, his drives must have been overweight, and they stopped him on the rear of the trailer, and probably did the math and goes, he's a little bit overweight, but we're gonna let him go. That's what I suspect they just happened there. CVSE here is super reasonable. I've run into maybe one bad CVSE officer, and maybe he's just having a bad day. And then a couple of DOT officers in the US, I've had some bad ones there. But for the most part, they've all been super reasonable. Canada, US, they've all been nice. I've made mistakes and they've let me correct them without getting a ticket.
Continue on Highway 3.
I think most of them, I mean, there's always an officer that's on a power trip, but most of them are out here to do the same job you are, right? They're out here to make the highway safe.
2 kilometers.
If you're doing your part to keep the highway safe, then
22 south.
they're good with you. As long as you're keeping your vehicle safe, that's a win for them.
1.5 kilometers. Take the ramp on the right toward Highway 22 south.
Rarely go into Castlegar this direction, so make sure I take the right exits. Castlegar is actually fairly complicated on which route to take, especially in a truck, because so many of the roads are no trucks allowed. Especially since Garmin is not necessarily giving the right directions. It's giving me the right directions to get into Castlegar here. It's not giving me the right directions to get back onto Highway 3 after. It wants me to go back to the scale again.
600 meters, turn left on Highway 22, then take the first left.
I'm definitely not into that. Access via 22nd Avenue. I want to make a left-hand turn here, but no trucks are allowed. That's where I want to be. But I'm not allowed to be. No, he's got the right of way, but he's waving me forward, so.
Traffic light, then take the first left.
I guess she's waving me forward. I'm always nervous about that. It's like, insurance scam? Ha, that's good timing. Oh, barely good timing. It's already yellow. I'll stay in this lane because the right is ending immediately. Okay, where's my road here?
Take the first right.
Oh, they've blocked off that parking area. I've slept in that parking area before, but they've blocked it off. Good, gate is unlocked. Good.
Turn right on 6th Avenue.
corner. I'm going to try to park in a way that I'm out of the way. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I am out of here. You guys absolutely rock. Got the card resolved. It was pretty quick, actually. Let's go
Turn right
fuel
on
up.
23rd Street, then take the first right.
And it looks like the camera batteries are going to be dying here pretty quick, but maybe I'll go to the next intersection. I'm not sure if that one has a red light at it or not. Awesome. Yeah, I think the next one has a red light.
4th Street, then take the first right.
Okay. Let's not lose this card. Okay, looks like the corner is quite straightforward. Get some go-go juice. If I knew exactly what the next load was going to be, I would not fuel up. So I've got plenty enough fuel to make it up and over to Grand Forks. But seeing I'm not sure if I'm coming back this way or going a different route, who knows what the next route will be. I asked the boss if he knew, and he goes, don't know yet, making it up as we go. Like, okay. Oh, this is a hard start. Should have gone low gear. First gear isn't low enough. So yeah, new card. Had to enter a new pin for it. So got to memorize the new one again. She asked if I want to keep the old pin or a new one. I'm like, I want a new one. It's good to just change it. It's good to change it. Just in case you've been caught on a camera somewhere, you don't want to be using the same pin over and over and over.
Turn left on Highway 22, then take the first
Same with debit cards, credit cards. I like changing the pins every now and then. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt remembering them, but it's healthy to change them. I use my debit card so rarely, it's actually hard to remember that one. Sometimes I'm sitting there at a debit machine, ATM, withdrawing money. I'm like, shoot. What was that again? What is my PIN?
Continue on Highway 22.
70. Not like I can do 70. It's a little bit of uphill here. It's a bit of a detour to fuel up here, but I figure I'm like halfway through town anyway. Might as well. If I waited to fuel up later on, then depending on what my load is, if I'm coming back this way, I could make the detour then, but the detour will be longer then, because I'm not going to be halfway through town, so it's a much longer detour if I wait till later. If I'm going the other direction, it could be stopping at Midway and fueling up there. So I could have waited to fuel up till after I deliver this. But I think it's probably the most efficient to do it now. Right? Yeah, I'll tell myself that anyway. Anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. It's been fabulous getting you guys to subscribe on these Monday videos. If you guys made it to the end here, you better be subscribing. If you aren't subscribed, you better be. Because it's amazing how much better a video does when you have 20 new subscribers on a video. All of a sudden that video gets double the views. So if you haven't subscribed, 60% of you guys haven't, now would be a great time to hit that button. But for now,
When possible,
I am out of here.
then take the first
Again.
left.
You guys rock. Again, still, always.